let's explore how peer conversations can support us in reflecting. One-on-one conversations in the form of peer coaching, for example, can greatly support building our sense of efficacy, the feeling that we are capable, that we can, stretching ourselves, embracing a growth mindset. It works this way. Students pair up. There is student A and B. Student A listens and asks questions, and student B answers and deepens thinking. Then the students change roles. There are specific questions that we will share that can help you for these 20-ish minute conversations with one another. But we need to remember that the questions alone won't create the atmosphere of trust. For that, we use the skills of the inquirer, listening actively and asking questions to provoke thinking. Let's take a look at how we can listen actively. Listening actively means suspending the noise that comes in different forms. As you listen, you are not here to find out all the details and being inquisitive. The details can stay in the hand of the receiver. You are not thinking about you or your connection to the topic, but focusing on the person you are listening to fully. So in this sense, your listening shouldn't be autobiographical. Like how does this relate to my life or my previous experience? That is also a noise to suspend. You are trying to avoid judging the person, because when we think in a judgmental way, it prevents us from listening actively, and it prevents us of being positive and supportive. And finally, we are not trying to give solutions to the person, but rather helping the person find their own solution independently. We can offer advice if we think it will help, but the person has to give us permission, and we should not expect the person to follow our advice. This is a suggestion that we propose, and the person who is being coached will decide what to do with it. So now on to the questions. What kind of questions are we using here? We are going to use the GROW model. The GROW model is a very easy coaching model that can be used almost immediately without coaching experience. So G goes for goal, R for reality, O for options, and W for way forward. These are some of the questions you might like to use in this order while listening to the answer in between. What might be your goal? For example, what might be your goal with your personal project? 2. What might be the current situation? Or how is it going right now? What might be some of your options? Or what might be some of the ways you might adjust your plan? And finally, what actions might you take? Or what's next in your agenda to nail this? As you listen to me sharing these examples of questions, what did you notice? You might like to pause the video and think before you continue listening. You might have noticed that all the questions are open-ended, so they don't lead the person to think a certain way, but allow the person to think and respond based on their context, based on what they want to talk about in regards to the topic at hand. To further support this, the questions use tentative language like the use of might and plural forms. And finally, listening to my tone of voice, you might have heard that I modulated my voice and I raised it towards the end, which is a technique for inviting ideas and thinking. You might like to pause the video, listen to this passage again, and try it out for yourself. So as you continue reflecting and self-exploring, you might like to think about what might be the hardest noise for you to suspend when you are listening during a one-on-one conversation with a peer. Thank you.